You know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so we can just write that one off for another one in the books, one step closer to the draft. Wait a second. Craig and Petey are both asleep. Come on, you guys. It's only 10:50 p.m. Wake up. Don't you want to talk about a 4-1 Coyotes
Seriously?
loss?
Like this 8:30 stuff? Or the 8?
It was 8.
When it gets to be 8:30, I swear we're going to have to...
We need a coffee sponsor stat. But everybody who's here live with us, everybody who's watching or listening later, thank you so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Craig Morgan and Steve Peters, who are now awake. I can promise you they are awake.
When did you guys get here?
Yeah,
Did you watch the game?
The funny part is we were kind of kidding about it, but we're both like, this is really comfortable, and it's really late.
Yeah, we should do our more read right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about more
Seriously,
furniture.
some points I was reclining fully in the chair and I was like, no, I gotta sit back up. We've been spoiled by these 4 and 5 o'clock starts. But I mean, yeah, like I said, just file this one as one step closer to draft day for the second straight 4-1 loss.
I don't like the mountain time zone. I just want to say that.
I love how so far all of our game analysis is 8 o'clock is late. I don't like this time zone.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, then I'll talk hockey for 1 minute because that's what I do. I like to talk about hockey. Through the first period, it's a good road game.
Yeah.
Like, they did a lot of things right. They killed 2 penalties. They stayed in it 0-0 against one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now in their building, in a building they struggle in at times. You come out of 0-0 and you go, okay, you didn't really give up much against. You didn't have much going for you offensively, but you just want to get through the first scoreless. They did that. Even through 2, it's 1-0. And you go, okay, maybe. One of the things that started to creep in, though, is the power play. And we've talked a lot about the power play here. And Craig might have wrote a story about it. But
And you.
Well, I didn't really write, though.
You contributed.
I did pictures. But anyway, they weren't getting the chances and the opportunities that they had in the past. And it didn't look like, oh my gosh, that top power play was dangerous. There was one backdoor play to Boyd that they're moving it around. And it was a good look. But the power play just didn't have that same vibe that they've had over the last few weeks. And that's when you go, okay, they may be in trouble tonight.
I don't like the mountain time zone.
And this is the hard-hitting analysis
No,
you
you
come
know, I
to
was-
the
I
show
was
for.
thinking about this
We're voting on the
game.
Tempe City Council. Can we vote on that too?
They got back from that last road trip at an ungodly hour, and that
Right.
messes with your body clock for a couple days. They go to Vegas for this game. This is a tough game anyway. Vegas had lost the first 2 games of its 3-game homestand, so you figure you're going to have a really tough time in this building. I feel like as this road trip stretches on, and this, by the way, this next return home, it's a little bit shorter. There's not as much time. They got to fly to Nashville. They got to go across time zones again. I feel like it's going to keep catching up to them just more and more as this road trip stretches along.
We
It's
like the
just gonna get
central time zone
harder.
better.
For us? You mean when they play in the central?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to be in the central.
No,
Like,
no,
I was
no,
thinking
no,
about
no,
that.
no,
I said this
no.
to you guys earlier. Imagine if we lived in the Eastern time zone and we were covering this game.
We
right
would need
now.
a second crew for Craig and Petey would be down
That's
for the
night
count.
shift.
Yeah.
Night shift.
Yeah.
But you talk about time zones, and I did think about that, of them traveling. This is the first game they've played in this time zone, because to start the season when they played, we were still on Pacific time. So this is the first time they've played in Pacific when we were on Mountain. And they've been playing their last several games on the East Coast. That's a 3-hour swing. And I know they had time to come home, but you get home really, really, really late after playing the Rangers on a Sunday night. Monday's a waste.
Yep.
Complete waste. You're in bed all day. Tuesday, you're still not acclimated to the time zone, and you fly Wednesday.
Yep.
And now you're playing at 8 o'clock at night in body time, which is now 11 o'clock East Coast body time. It messes you up. I'm sorry. It just does. And I don't want to make excuses for them. And that's why I thought their start might be difficult. And so when they got through the first 0-0, I said, okay, this might be okay for them.
I was surprised because I was picturing a 7-2 loss tonight.
I really
was.
thought the first period was going to be 3-4-0. I really did. But now, to Craig's point, they're going to get home very late tonight. They're not on the plane yet, and they got to fly. I know it's a short flight, but then you got to get home. And then when you get home, you're not ready to sleep. Tomorrow's a wash. They're not going to practice tomorrow. I don't know if they made that official. They're not skating, but the day after this, I doubt that they're going to skate tomorrow. They got the open practice Saturday,
And they'll fly Sunday.
and then they'll fly Sunday.
Yep.
This is exactly what we would thought would happen on this road trip. As it longer it wears on, the more difficult this is going to be for the Coyotes to accumulate wins, and that's okay.
Yep, it is okay.
It's true.
It is okay. And you know what? They held the Golden Knights scoreless through pretty much half the game, which it was a close competitive game. There was interest, and even, it wasn't really 4-1 until the end there. Clayton Keller made it a 3-1 game later, which we'll get to, but again, small improvements in the overarching picture, but let's check out the numbers from tonight to get a better sense of what went down. We didn't even have to switch over the score here, 4-1. Coyotes, 26 shots, I feel like for them, not bad, I guess, but 39 shots on goal by Vegas. I guess the fact they only allowed 4 goals on that was pretty good. Vegas capitalized on their power play, 1 for 5. Coyotes' power play for the first time in a few games, it feels like, was 0 for 4. And then shot attempts. This one was surprising because it's been pretty uneven over the past few, but the Coyotes had 54 shot attempts to Vegas's 60, so not too big of a disparity there.
Yeah, and when you look at these numbers, the one that's been bothering me the most is the shots on goal against. This team is going to have to find a way to start limiting these shots against. And you go back to the trip, the last 3 the games on the East Coast, they gave up 24, 26, 27. 3 consecutive games under 30 against good teams. That was the Islanders, Devils, and Rangers. They got it. You can't continually give up 39 shots on goal. You can't. You can't sustain that for a season and put all that pressure on Vejmelka to go, okay, you got to make another 39 saves tonight.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't do that.
Yeah. How do you feel about man-to-man defense?
I literally wrote that in the note. I literally wrote down, Petey hates man-on-man. That was one of my notes.
So the ASU basketball game was on the other screen earlier, and the young men that host that show were very excited and animated. And I said, how can you yell at a TV like that? And then the Coyotes give up 2 defensive zone goals using their man-on-man defensive zone coverage, and I might have yelled at the screen a little bit. I am so tired of watching this team give up goals in front of their net when a defenseman is above the hash marks and closer to the blue line. It drives me absolutely insane, because to me, in the name, it's a defenseman you defend. I would like to see defensemen protect the house, protect the area around the blue paint, protect the area around the goaltender, protect the crease. That's what I would like to see. Man on man with a busy team that's moving all around like Vegas does. If a defenseman's covering a forward and that forward goes out to the blue line, now your defenseman's at the blue line. And he's not, guess what? Defending.
Yeah.
So I get frustrated. So what happened on that? You look at Michelli. Michelli got hung to dry. He got beat. It was Michelli's guy. Michelli gets beat to the net. There's absolutely no question Michelli gets beat to the net on their second goal. It's Michelli's guy. Got to take him all the way to the net. But if you defend in layers, which is what you call it, if the defenseman is there, the defenseman can make up for Michelli's mistake and make sure that Vegas player doesn't have a clear shot at the net. That's all I'm saying. I don't think they're going to change. They've played that way since Bear got here. That's how they're going to play. And believe me, there are teams that play this system very successfully. The Coyotes are just going to have to continue to work on it, watch video, learn to do it better, and hopefully over time, when they're ready to get through this rebuild, they can do it to perfection, and they're defending extremely well.
Well said.
Okay.
Well, don't get off your soapbox yet, because
I thought that was the end of the show.
You're literally trying to get up.
Yeah, it's gonna go.
While you're in coach mode, let's go over your keys to the game. Which, by the way, shout out to Sean for this amazing design of the new and improved Peteys keys.
It's a whiteboard.
If you're listening on audio, it's a whiteboard. We got some amazing photos of Petey and his coaching.
We got to talk about these pictures.
It's a magnet
the top
whiteboard.
left in particular.
Yeah, that one got a lot of attention on Twitter. Petey laying on the ice in front of the coaching staff with Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, because that's the kind of guy. I'm a fun guy. So
I'm a fun guy. Said every fun guy ever.
Yeah, that was me. So it was photo day, and we legit. I have the real, we did a real shot standing up.
Sure, you did.
We had some fun. So we had a little fun. And of course, if in that group of guys, who's going to be the fun guy? Of course, it's Fun Petey.
Fun Petey. Oh my God.
That's my nickname.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy, Fun Petey. So I laid on the ice in my suit. It's a little chilly there.
Anyway,
but I love the
back to-
whiteboard. The whiteboard's fantastic. That's really cool.
Yep.
The DP came through huge.
Yep.
I tried to, as you could see, there might have been a theme with the keys.
Yep. The casino theme loved it.
Yeah. And I thought they were going all in, but they didn't. When I defending Jack Eichel, I thought, honestly,
They did well on
I
it.
thought
Yeah.
they did a really
Yeah.
good job on defending Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
I thought they closed space between them, especially in the defensive zone. I didn't think he ran away with this game at
No,
all.
just one assist, which
He had a really good, there was a couple of times when he had a really good shot, but no, I don't think he took over this game. Fourth goals against, yeah, they've got to defend better. If you want to not be at the bottom of the standings in goals against, you need to defend better and you got to limit the shots against. They need to do better at that. They have to start there. And lastly, Phil Kessel off the score sheet. They did that too.
sad for me on DraftKings though.
Yeah. So honestly, they did a lot of things
They
right.
executed your
And
keys,
if-
PD.
And not only they executed these keys, I was going to talk about Keller and what he needed to do tonight. I thought Keller was really good tonight offensively. You look at that
And
second
that was
period.
you were saying that well before he scored tonight.
Yeah, he was jumping. He had 3 scoring chances in the second period. I thought his feet were moving, and I've been critical of him getting to the net and moving his feet. And I think part of that was due to his his injury and maybe a little tentative. He wasn't tonight. I thought he skated much better. I think this is the best game he's played this season. I think there's good things to come for Clayton Keller, and I'm really glad he ended up getting the goal. I didn't think he did. I thought it went off Boyd, but I was wrong. It was off Martinez.
I mean, yeah.
But he's got to deliver more pucks to the net. And I know he was looking for a passer. He's got to shoot more. He's got a really good shot. He's got to get pucks to the net.
For a tired guy, you really can carry a show. I'm just saying.
You're just
This
sitting
is
there
awesome.
quietly.
I'm loving this. I'm
Oh
just
my
passive
goodness.
Wake me up.
over here.
That's
Well,
I feel like prompting Petey with more questions and just let him talk.
yeah.
Sorry.
Be a host show.
I'll let you hear
Don't
touches.
apologize,
You can-
buddy. Loving this.
Clayton Keller, that was his 7th goal and 18 point in 16 games. He now has a 6-game point streak right now, and that goal, of course, was assisted by Mosier. But yeah, Clayton Keller, continuing to carry the offense for this team, which is what he's paid to do, though.
Still on track to break Keith Tkachuk's single season record.
And
I know we're a long way. It's crazy talk at this point, but
yeah,
it'd be fun to see somebody
It
get
would
to
be
80
fun.
points, wouldn't it? As a Coyote,
and hopefully
it's happened.
And hopefully he stays healthy this season, because the way he's been playing, last year and now this year, I feel like the more we've gone on here, the more he's picked up steam. So it's great to see from him.
And one of the other things with Clayton Keller, if you look back to last year, one of the things that sparked him was Nick Schamltz. He was a better player offensively when he was playing with Nick Schamltz. And
Do I spell a segue?
I think Nick Schamltz might be playing
Oh, I think he is
on Monday night.
in Nashville.
Their
That's
next
old
game.
Jacob Chychrun.
I can't wait.
So maybe that gets him, and we keep saying he's getting these assists, and I know he gets the goal tonight, but it's off a body. I think give Schamltz, and I'm not sure where Schamltz is going to fit in the lineup. I don't know if he can eat those kind of minutes his first game back.
Probably not. Yeah.
So you're going to see him used a little more sparingly, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him matched up with Keller at some point. I don't know if he's going to even creep on the power play right away. I mean, that would honestly surprise me with power play doing so well that you'd throw him out there right away, but who knows?
And that Keller Boyd Schmaltz line has been the magic line. We haven't gotten to see it with Schmaltz being out. But Boyd, until tonight, he was on a 5-game point streak as well. So he's still being productive. But if we can get the 3 of them back together, we saw the power play scoreless tonight, but I don't know, something about those 3. There's some
just
juju.
the injection of those legs into the lineup. I mean, obviously everyone's anticipating Jacob Chychrun returning as well. We all know what this means, right? You get him back in the lineup. He gets a body of work. You find out what you've got. You find out if he can get back to that level, and trade talk will be on again. It's pretty obvious from all angles now that they want to trade Jacob Chychrun. Jacob Chychrun wants to be traded. There are teams that want him, but they want to see what he can do, and then we'll see if Bill can get the price that he's asking. But it's a big moment for him as well. I mean, Nick Schmaltz coming into the lineup again. It'd be good to see him. See if he can continue what he was doing all of last season when he was nearly a point per game player after a certain point. You remember he had the hand injury early on, and he really wasn't that effective early in the season, but then he just hit a stride where it was just insane the way he was producing. So see if he can recapture that, see if Jacob Chychrun can recapture who he was so that they can get decent value, requisite value. I know a lot of people out there saying that they're asking too much. You'll always hear that, right? But it's a GM's job to get as much as he can, to get what he thinks is requisite value for a player. And that has, as we have said a million times, that has been Bill Armstrong's MO to date, he has not faltered on that. He has not wavered on his asking price. There were instances in the past where people said he wasn't going to get what he's asking. He did for Darcy Kemper. We can talk about the other examples. We all know him, but he got a first-round pick for Darcy Kemper when nobody said he would. So hold the line and see what comes.
But when new legs come into the lineup, someone has to come out.
Yeah, I wrote about this, and I mean, they went with the 11-7 mix again tonight because Lauren Dauphin's back in Tucson.
Yep.
I mean, Dyson Mayo probably is the guy that I'm thinking. I know JJ Mosier's the only guy whose waivers exempt, and he's clearly not going anywhere. So who do you think? I mean, Dyson Mayo's one guy who's struggled a bit this season. But if you have to make a second move, if Connor Timmins comes off of his conditioning stint, which will happen around the same time, what do you do at that point? Do you try and put Patrick Nemeth through waivers? I don't even think that's an issue, to be honest. Nobody's going to take Patrick Nemeth. So do you put those two guys on waivers and send them down to Tucson?
Yeah, but even beyond that, even if you just take Mayo out of the lineup and throw Chychrun in, Schamltz has got to go in. So somebody else has to come out. So are you taking another defenseman out and playing 11-7, or are you going to take
or send Laurent Dauphin back?
He's gone. He's gone. Yeah.
Where have I been?
It's all right.
So there are going to be some decisions, and not just shuffling within lines, but who's going to start sitting out. And now that you're getting this team healthy again, which has not happened much over the last 2 seasons, guys haven't had to worry about sitting out. That's where you start getting that internal competition going, oh, shit.
And who is that odd guy out, right? Like, because
we
talked about, like, if Nick Schamltz doesn't get hurt, how does that affect Gunther?
How does it affect Gunther?
I know.
Yeah, because Michelli's playing extremely well right now, leading rookies in scoring.
Not taking him out.
He's noticeable every night.
So what is it? So is it O'Brien? You bring out some toughness? Fisher was the guy that's always been in that rotation in years past, but he's playing a different role now.
Yep.
So I just wait. It's going to be something interesting, and that's when guys start going, okay, wait, now you're taking me out of the lineup? Like, I'm coming out of the lineup on this team? Really? And that's where things get difficult, and things change in a locker room, and attitudes, and it's going to be interesting to see how this all happens. Right now, it's been pretty smooth. You knew who was going to play every night. It's going to be a challenge. And you're right. Is it a guy like Patrick Nemeth that's going to be an odd man out?
Yep.
I don't know, because Chychrun's going to play, and he's going to play a lot. And Schamltz is going to play a lot too. So minutes will change.
Yep.
Sorry, I got off.
And I feel like Connor Timmins has to play up here too. I mean, you got to get him in the lineup. You got to see what he can do.
We've seen him for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So they've got some decisions coming.
Yep.
No doubt.
But we don't have to make those decisions.
No, we don't. We just get to talk about them and speculate on them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But rewinding, because you guys went down a path.
We started on the right path for you.
You were on a path and went down it.
Clayton Keller's playing.
And now I'm going to rewind back.
Great. Clayton Keller.
Woo!
He's playing so good.
Playing great. He definitely is part of this lineup. That's for sure. We don't have to speculate anything about him right now. And for the third straight game, Clayton Keller is our DraftKings king of the game with his goal tonight. 6-game point streak, like we said. I mean, we already went over all the great stuff about Keller, but
sick flow.
Three straight kings for Clayton. But you know what? Good.
That's fine.
As he should be.
It was a little dicey there for a while.
Yeah, we were.
We got to tell everybody that for a while there, we were considering making Phil Kessel's baby the king of the game. We were thinking about it.
Had
the photo pulled. Just saying.
Yeah, that's where we were. So
and don't worry, Nick Bukestad, I'm still voting for you.
Every game. Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of Phil Kessel, because it was his 1,000th consecutive game, I thought maybe he'll feel inspired. It's his 1,000th straight game. He's playing against his former team, the Coyotes. So I bet Phil Kessel over 0.5 point on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And unfortunately, it did not hit. However, I did hit another bet tonight, so I came out even. Great. There's tons of stuff you can bet on DraftKings, so if you lose one bet, you can win 3 more, I promise. There's always promotions going on as well, which I love to just check those every day because they'll boost things to plus money that are given, and you can easily make money on that. So if you want to get in on the action, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and right now, new customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 if your team wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the promo code PHNX. That's code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And, for those guys coming back on the flight, whether it's the players, the staff, they're probably tired, but like you said, you're tired, but you can't sleep. That feeling.
Yep.
Maybe they should try some OGs. They got a sleep gummy that helps you not only fall asleep but stay asleep. And for us, we love OGs here, especially getting through long seasons like this. Not only are OGs helpful, but they taste amazing. If you haven't tried them yet, orange creamsicle, pina colada, amazing flavors, and they're local scratch made. So what more can you ask for? We love OGs. Go ahead and try them out. You can find them at your local dispensary, but you must be 21 or older to enjoy OGs. Well, should we talk about Phil Kessel?
Let's talk about Phil Kessel. I feel like I should be knitting here with this pillow in my lap. I don't know. Probably look really old right now.
Let's talk about Phil Kessel. Back in 2009, he missed a game.
Phil Kessel.
Back in 2009, Phil Kessel missed a
1,000 games,
and he has not missed a game since. 1,000
games, 1,000 straight games. It's crazy.
Like it's a milestone to play 1,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like just play 1,000.
Yep.
But to play them straight?
Yeah. We've talked about all the stuff with whether he should have or he managed to do it. And the style of play, everything. I don't care. It's 1,000 straight games. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yep.
I don't know that we see that record broken.
Again, we talked about this before about how pitchers get pulled down in the 5th inning. Yep. I don't think you're going to see it. I think guys are held out, questionable for health, or hey, we don't want to push them on, or they need a rest. I don't know if this will get broken. I just don't. You look at the guys that are active right now. No one's even close. Like half.
Is it Brent Burns?
Yeah, I think Brent Burns is
the closest. Yeah.
And Keller was in the conversation before last year's injury, but it's just unbelievable to me, and I don't know if you can overshadow it, but there are times, and we've said this, the flight home from Detroit where he plays one shift or to keep the streak alive. But if you know Phil, and all of his teammates wanted him to do that, and he's been so well received in Vegas by this team. This team loves Phil Kessel. Like he's a fixture of that team already. 14, 15 games into this season. Guys like Phil, they do. He's a guy that's fun to be around, and he gets a bad rap about he's just a little bit different, a little quiet sometimes.
And people in the comments are saying stuff about, when he left and he had that press conference from his car, and he said, "Oh, like I'm excited to go to a team that wins." And there was kind of that feeling among the Coyotes fan base of like, you're not going to at least acknowledge what this organization did for you. And I know it wasn't like the best segment of his career, but I don't know if you heard Tyson Nash's comments on the broadcast tonight, kind of throwing some shade at that and how he left the organization. But I did see also that Phil Kessel, he loved his teammates here. Jesse Granger today said that Phil Kessel went out to dinner with some of his former Coyotes teammates last. So the Coyotes chapter of his career, sure, it wasn't the most prolific, but the things the Coyotes did for him, like that flight home, it helped him along to achieve this today.
You can even understand it from a player's perspective when he says what he said, right? It's nice to go to a team that's trying to win. The Coyotes weren't trying to win. Nobody. That was the truth. A veteran doesn't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
You get it. It's fine. Listen, I heard all the things about you read the stories coming from Detroit, Toronto, and Boston about what he was like to deal with. Phil didn't like talking to media. It was definitely not one of his priorities. And I mean, literally his last time here on breakup day, he was like sneaking out the hallway and I had to chase him down. Whenever I talked to Phil, he was fine. He was good. I got good stuff from him. So it's just not something that he cares about. I get it. It's not something he cares about to talk to media. Like you said, Pete, he's just a little bit different. He definitely marches to the beat of a different drummer. But
and I'm not making excuses for Phil Kessel. I agree the comments he made when he left town, he probably didn't need to make.
Or the lack of acknowledgement.
Yeah, because
and yet we criticize players when they're not honest too. So he was on.
He was.
can't
Hey,
win.
I don't know.
He's a guy that loves the city. He
Yep.
loved it here.
Yep.
He loved being in Arizona. He liked like his camaraderie with head coach Rick Tocchet at the time was something in a relationship between a player and coach that I'd never seen or been around before. The frankness that the two of them were able to communicate with, I think it helped the players. In team meetings that Phil would say, no, I this, and the communication just was different. And I think he really enjoyed that atmosphere and he fit in a little bit better with that coaching staff. And I think when he saw things changing, he just didn't fit anymore and he wasn't happy and he wanted to be happy. He wanted to be happy here. He just couldn't be.
Yeah.
So I think he could have said it better, but hey, we know what this team was trying to do a year ago. We get it.
Yep.
So it's okay. I clearly forgive him.
We like Phil Kessel.
Yeah,
Three of
I
us
like
like
Phil
Phil
Kessel.
Kessel. It's an amazing achievement, one we might never see again, and unbelievable. So congratulations to Phil Kessel. I want to ask you guys a couple questions, and the chat can chime in too. Does Phil Kessel make it into the Hockey Hall of Fame?
I don't think so. I don't think he has the numbers for it. I really don't. I don't think he's that stature of player where people are going to put him in the hall. I know he's won a couple cups, and he was an integral part of that. Clearly there were great players on that Penguins team, but Phil had some unbelievable performances in the postseason, but I don't think he's had the sustained excellence of that sort of level to make it to the Hall of Fame. We were just talking about this a little before. Keith Tkachuk has a lot more goals than Phil Kessel does. He's not in the Hall of Fame, and I kind of think that's crazy that Keith Tkachuk's not in the Hall of Fame. But I mean, if you're looking at standards, I don't think Phil quite rises to that level.
Yeah, his accomplishment is Hall of Fame worthy, but he, in his total performance as a player, I don't know, that bar is set pretty darn high.
Yep.
And his accomplishments are fantastic, and he'll get a
really
plaque,
good
and
career.
it'll be in the Hall of Fame that he's hit out all of these consecutive games, and the Ironman streak that will be represented in the Hall of Fame. But you're right. I look at, and I always throw that out there, Keith Tkachuk's the guy that if Keith Tkachuk's not in, I know. It always goes back to Stanley Cups. That's how. Well, Keith never won a Stanley Cup. Phil has.
Yeah.
Like
He got to play with Sidney Crosby. So.
Did I think the Sedins and Daniel Albertson would be in the Hall of Fame either? I really didn't. So you never say never, I guess.
I say I'm gonna disagree with you both. I'm gonna say yes, simply based on this achievement, the 2 cups. I know he doesn't have the point production that maybe someone like Keith Tkachuk did, who's not in the Hall, but this achievement alone, like, to me, that's, like you said, Hall of Fame.
That's what CWP said.
Yeah,
Same thing.
And the 2 cups, and it's not like he did all this and didn't have points. I mean, we saw he scored his 400th goal recently, so he's a productive player, and I think. I mean, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not gonna fight someone over it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. But that leads me to my other question. So, okay, if not Hall of Fame, set that aside. Does he get a Ring of Honor? Does he get a number retirement? But because he's played in so many markets, where would that fit in? And,
I don't think he's played anywhere long enough to. And his reputation in Boston and Toronto was not a good reputation.
No.
So if it were going to happen anywhere, it would happen in Pittsburgh. It's certainly not happening here.
No.
So, but I don't know that he lasted anywhere long.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Even though he probably was a Conn Smythe candidate the year Sidney Crosby wins the Conn Smythe, and people argue that if you want to, but I just don't know. And you're right. I think for those kind of accolades, you need to be in a location for a very long time. Yeah. And I don't think it's going to happen. He'll be remembered fondly. Guys, like I said, guys love him that played with him. I just don't think he's going to rise to that.
Yep. But again, congrats to Phil Kessel.
Yeah,
what an achievement.
Absolutely. Congratulations from all of us.
And kind of special that it was against the Coyotes. And he even said that today, that it was a little bit special that it was against his former
an
team.
unbelievable number. Just mind-boggling to me to play 1,000 straight.
Yep, absolutely. So congrats to Phil. On the subject of former Coyotes players, if you were on Twitter tonight, it is still functioning, by the way. You might have seen that Scott Wedgewood had an unfortunate incident. He was stretchered off the ice, but we do have an update on Scott.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was just bad back spasms.
Yeah.
He literally texted me, and it's just bad back spasms. I think he got some good drugs after the game too, to help him feel
So I think
better.
he's okay.
He was walking around, and they're thinking just maybe a few days. So
Yeah.
good to hear. I mean, that's what it looked like, honestly.
When you see someone getting taken off on a
Right.
stretcher,
But
you
he
automatically
grabbed,
think
I've had back spasms, that really bad back spasms. You're just paralyzed. You're screaming in agony. But they probably shot him up with something and relaxed the muscles, and you give it a few days to settle down, and he'll probably be okay. Which is great because we talked about this when we had Wedgie on the show. He worked so hard for so long
To get there.
to get just a 2-year contract, right?
Yep.
Just some stability, and he got it. So I'm glad to hear that it's not anything structural.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really great to hear because that was scary to see. But we wish the best for Wedgie and all the former Coyotes players. The one, not all Kyle Turris. Just kidding. We've talked about that on a Trade Talk Tuesday.
Shots
I'm
fired.
kidding. He's retired. It doesn't affect me anymore. But obviously it still does because
Who do you think is the most reviled former Coyote? Kyle Turris.
Kyle
Is on the list.
Turris.
But what about Blake Wheeler?
But
Yeah.
but like he didn't ever play here.
Yeah, it's because he wouldn't.
Eh,
He wouldn't sign.
well, I'm on board.
That's probably the
But
top two
keep-
choices
Yeah,
right there.
I'm
Let us know what you think in the chat. Who
recuse
is
myself
the
from
former Coyote that you can't stand the most? Lucky for us, we love most of the former Coyotes, and especially the recent ones like Phil Kessel, like Scott Wedgewood. Maybe we should send Wedgie a case of Four Peaks beer as a, take it
That'd be nice.
easy.
yeah.
Lay on the couch for a few days, enjoy some Four Peaks. I think he would really enjoy that because who wouldn't love that? I certainly would. We love Four Peaks here, drinking some Four Peaks tonight, watching the game, and we got an exciting event coming up next week.
Yep.
Join us at Four Peaks for Mexico's first World Cup match, Tuesday, November 22nd. I know it's early, but 8 a.m., but there's a breakfast buffet, drink specials, and an appearance from rising head coach Juan Guerra. Is that right, Sean?
Guerra.
Okay. Juan Guerra. I will not get that wrong. Buy your tickets in our description. Like I said, beer specials, giveaways, $3 kill lifter and Wow Wheat pints. Tuesday, 8 a.m., Four Peaks. Be there. It's going to be amazing.
Who created this whole thing, by the way?
I believe Dwayne.
The graphics?
It's pretty cool
Yeah,
looking.
Dwayne's.
Yeah.
It's
It's
pretty
very
cool
very
looking.
much Dwayne style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
Awesome.
it.
Awesome
saying.
graphics. Come out to Four Peaks. It's going to be a blast. We're not doing our last Wednesday this month, so this is a great opportunity to get down to Four Peaks and enjoy some brews for sure. And if you're looking to go to some sporting events over the next couple weeks here, Suns are in town, Cardinals are around, ASU hockey match.
Big series. coming up
Logan
against
Cooley,
Minnesota.
Matthew Nyes coming to town.
Mhm.
Minnesota taking on ASU hockey.
Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that
What?
tomorrow on the podcast. I have some thoughts. But check out Game Time if you want to grab your tickets. You will not get screwed over like Ticketmaster. Let me promise you.
Right. Harry
Because
Styles wouldn't do
Game
that either,
Time.
by the way.
No, Harry Styles did that to me in college. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Oh, that fits.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Okay.
But Game Time has your best interest in mind. They want you to buy tickets up to 60% off, especially when you buy last minute, which normally if you're buying last minute, you're buying them for much more, but not on Game Time. So check it out. You can save up to 60%. And the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in our description below. And let us know what events you buy your tickets for. We love to hear great experiences about Game Time. I've heard so many. It's so easy to use. Jacob just made it home from the studio. I'm glad you got home safe, Jacob.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thanks for the update, bud.
Yeah. Fox 2001 said, I was expecting Leah to be wearing Harry Styles PJs for the show. We did discuss pajamas, but I've been here for longer than PJs would be acceptable in the middle of the day. So we will. There's enough 8 and 8:30
Yeah, we
games
got a lot of
that
them
we
coming.
will
Yeah.
break out the pajamas.
Again, have I told you I don't like the Mountain Time Zone? Just
that seems to
put
be
that out there.
the
Yeah.
underlying theme of
There's some fun
This.
things we could do that though. Like it's almost like a sleepover vibe. when they get to
Totally
be this late. Like 8:30. This could be a half hour later on some of these games.
Let's just have a slumber party here.
I mean, it's
Sleeping
comfortable
bags.
I
enough
was
to
kinda
sleep
leaning
in.
We
towards-
got the recliners.
Sleeping
Yeah.
bags. I don't know if we do marshmallows and probably not.
I'll bring my
We'll
sleep
figure it
app
out.
and speaker. You guys can listen
Oh.
to waves.
I'm a big thunderstorm sound
Thunderstorm. Okay.
Oh,
can
and
I
I
can look at
learned
that.
about Craig because when we went to Montreal and the Airbnb, you took out your noise machine to sleep.
I got my Alexa next to my bed. Hey Alexa, play thunderstorm noises.
Exactly.
Playing thunderstorm.
People don't get
noises.
it.
Really?
Okay, I'm gonna try that tonight.
I'm just a ceiling fan.
That's all I gotta say.
I like noises.
I need noise though.
but yeah,
Just like white noise.
Yeah, thunderstorm sounds. You get like the thunder crashes,
All
maybe
right.
some wildlife in the background. It's or
I can't do the wildlife. Like
rainforest.
birds screeching.
I like-
I'm like, what's going on
No,
here?
I like the
That wakes me up.
rainforest. I do like the a little bit of like I said, the rainforest. You get some birds screeching, some critters moving through the
No.
I
trees.
sleep with
I
a
like it.
screeching bird.
I mean, they're not screeches. It's just like
This is
it's just faint
PHNX
noises.
After Dark. This is it.
We should debate this actually. The best sleep app sounds.
I mean, I don't have an
This
opinion
could come up
because
Thunderstorm
too.
till I die.
Okay.
I don't have
You
an
don't like
opinion.
waves? Just that rhythmic.
It's nice, but I just
Yeah,
like sleeping during rain. I've never slept near an ocean. I sleep near rain sometimes, so it's nice.
Rain is nice.
Okay.
Rain is
Rain
nice.
is good too. Yeah.
Okay, I'm veering us back. Karen said Mike Smith as their hated
Okay.
Coyote.
Oh, wow.
Well, Mike's
Interesting.
on that list.
It's slower than you're going, Sean. Sean is scrolling up high. I don't know why. Oh. What?
I was just showing you other people's responses.
Oh, Kyle Turris is basically the Coyotes' Voldemort.
Wow.
That's aggressive.
Charles said it's Turris or Wheeler for me. Fox 2001 said it's Kyle Turris. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, Mike
I
Smith's
doubted
interesting
you.
though, because he took this team to the pinnacle of their
I know.
playoff
I don't hate
mountain.
Mike Smith.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Interesting.
I would have thought someone would have thrown Ilya Bryzgalov on that list too. So,
Yeah.
no.
Huh.
But I
Karen,
liked-
Karen said my dog will not sleep without the ceiling
Wow.
fan. That is
Karen's got a bougie dog.
bougie dog, Karen.
Karen.
Seriously.
My goodness.
I'm with Karen though. That's my white noise. Is my ceiling fan.
Yeah,
I got her 30 below.
my
the ceiling
roommate
fan
does
is on.
the ceiling fan, the standing fan, and the fan on in her
Damn,
bathroom.
it's a little aggressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot
too
of air
aggressive.
movement.
I'm the one who said I got to get us on track, and then I took us off track again. But speaking of just being sleepy, the Coyotes are going to continue to get sleepier on this trip because it's a long one. So let's check out what we got going.
Jeez.
So we got 3 wins and 3 losses so far. So
There's
we need
8 more
a
games.
new pattern has been unlocked on this. This isn't the punch card,
They're
but
literally not halfway.
that is unbelievable.
That's insane.
And they still have a lot of distance to travel. We
9 to
talked
go.
about Nashville coming up next Monday, Carolina, Detroit, Minnesota. That's all, East and Midwest. And then they come back. And that Los Angeles game, that's a 8:30 p.m. start
Yeah, that
for
could
us.
be our,
On
that could be
December
our
1st?
That could be our PJ's game. Yeah.
Hey.
Craig and I were studying the schedule earlier.
Oh boy.
And then
howdy.
they go up to the Pacific Northwest of Canada,
Mhm.
Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton.
Huh.
Whew, long road ahead there. I mean, it's not all at once, but it's gonna be nice when they finally get back to Mullet.
December 9th against Boston.
December 9th.
But we said this when they
Welcome
went
back.
on
You
this.
get to play the Bruins, who have the best record in the league right
Yeah,
When you
that'll
went on
be
this
fun.
14-game road trip, we said here this was going to define their season, and they would have a tough time not being in the cellar by the time they came back for that December 9th game against the best team, arguably, in the Eastern Conference. Do we still think that's the case? Because I do.
Yes.
They've lost 3 straight now.
They are sinking, which we had that stretch where they were like 2 spots away from Colorado. They were
Yeah.
in the middle of the pack of the whole league. Now I pulled up the standings. They're sinking slower and slower. Unfortunately, Anaheim lost tonight, and so did San Jose, which we needed them to win, but it's okay because the Coyotes did lose. So right now, the only team with fewer points than Arizona is Anaheim, but only by a 1-win difference.
Yeah.
So very easily, if they continue on this road they've been on, 2 4-1 losses in a row, if they keep going at this rate, and it's not going to be easy going on that Eastern and Midwestern swing. I mean, by the end of it, by December 9th, they could be looking at that 30, 31, 32 spot because Columbus is picking it up.
St. Louis
St.
won 4
Louis
in a row.
catapulted
St.
out
Louis-
of the
St. Louis
bottom.
is out
Yeah,
of it.
Columbus 2 in a row.
We knew that was going to
Yeah,
happen.
so
And the next section, as this road trip continues, we talked about this already. It is going to be more difficult, not just the teams they're playing, but it is going to wear on them physically and mentally, and it's going to get harder, and losing breeds losing.
And that will even linger after they come home.
100%. That first game back, to have it be the Boston Bruins is almost not fair.
It's like, welcome home, and just punch you in the face. Back to the bottom. Let's tank it, baby, Nick said. Blatantly asinine said, shit the Bedard. We haven't had that one in a while. Unreal goal by him tonight. Oh my God, for Regina. Holy moly. Logan Cooley also scored tonight. Yeah, Adam Fantilli was not in tonight. Either was half the Michigan lineup, and their third string goalie was playing on the third line.
Tough night for Michigan. Just saying.
Oh,
yeah, if you didn't watch
Michigan sports in general, sure.
If you didn't watch the PHNX Sun Devils show tonight, you missed out on a lot of happy yelling.
And if you do, when this show is over and you're still awake and you need a little boost, jump on the
my God, you want to be awake? Watch that.
Because you talk about background noise, buddy.
I couldn't sleep to that, but I guess this hasn't been announced anywhere. So announcement for the PHNX Coyotes fans, because they were talking about her earlier. Erin Slindy will be making an appearance on the PHNX Sun Devil show tomorrow at 2 p.m. So tune in for that. Because she is up in Eugene covering Oregon and Oregon State. Sun Devils play Oregon State this weekend in football, so she's coming on to talk to us about
while
that
we're
game.
talking about Erin, can we play Rebuild Reminder? Because people were asking about the button, and I feel like we need to play it right now.
Rebuild Reminder.
There it
is. We missed Cinderella. We need to find it. When this show's over, we gotta find the button, and I'm gonna take it home and get the batteries changed.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Although we do have it on the computer now.
I know, but I have the button.
If we get enough Coyotes fans in the chat tomorrow, I'll have her say Rebuild Reminder live.
Yes.
Just record it.
2 o'clock.
PHNX an updated version.
Perfect. Love that. Sean, can we see the punch card?
Well, yes,
I'm really curious what's going on there. All right. We got on line 2, loss, 3 wins, 3 losses.
I think Petey cracked the code. I think it's just 3 wins per 10 games.
Per row.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we got, what would that mean? A lot. Nashville and Carolina losses. Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it.
Nashville and Carolina are losses, you're saying?
Yeah.
3 wins per row might be the code.
Carolina's tough. That's a tough.
Yeah.
Carolina is extremely tough. That team is. We talk about puck pursuit. We'll talk about that. That'll be a Petey's puck talk. We'll talk about Carolina's puck pursuit. It's unbelievable. Their ability to recover pucks. They smother you. It's going to be a problem. I haven't watched Nashville enough lately, but that's a tough team in Nashville too.
Yeah, and they've struggled a bit this season, so they're going to be motivated to climb out from their troubles.
Site of the NHL draft.
Yes, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, but we were thinking about we should probably go there early and scout it out, like maybe now.
Yeah, I'm down. When we go next week? Why not?
Start the draft prep right now. Send us to Tootsie's. Tootsie's Orchid Lounge on Broadway. Not that I've ever been.
Love and Exile.
Yeah, Love and Exile.
We might be doing our shows from Love and Exile, just saying.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'll do them remote from Tootsie's.
Okay.
Perfect. You're in.
The
We're all in.
Orchid Lounge.
And also, this is something that's been floated by our members' Discord. Would be maybe a PHNX trip to Nashville.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're talking about this.
We're talking about this, and I think this is a perfect time now to talk about the huge announcement today that PHNX and All City has launched Diehards. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the Diehard badge in the corner there. We could not be more excited for this launch. It's membership to the next level. All of those who are already members have been upgraded to Diehard status. And what it gets you is absolutely phenomenal. Now, most of the content's unlocked, which I'll let Craig talk about more in a second. You get a free t-shirt when you sign up, and then a free shirt or hat every year after. You get 20% off all PHNX merchandise and 20% off all PHNX events. So that's takeovers. If you've been to a takeover, if you've been to a tailgate, 20% off that. Exclusive curated content that, you know, if you've loved Craig's stories, his mailbag was going to be behind the paywall. Stories like what he and Petey collaborated on, that's the kind of stuff that's going to stay for members only. There's also members only merchandise in the locker, including an unbelievable zip up.
Yeah.
I know people have been asking for
I've seen the
hoodies and zip ups.
Is that real?
That's real.
It's real, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually
You also
really
get
cool.
a physical membership card, which is amazing.
We're rocking the card for
Literally
sure.
love that.
For
But
sure.
Craig, I know you're really excited about the
events
Diehard.
too, right? We're gonna have
Yeah.
exclusive events.
Exclusive
But yeah, I mean, what I like about this mixture of things, first of all, it was always just the written content that was behind the paywall, and with some of our writers who are younger, I don't think a lot of their work got exposed to enough people. So it's really cool that more of that is going to be exposed, and yet we're going to have the type of content that we just talked about, like you and I just collaborated on. We're going to keep something special for the diehards. We're going to, I don't want to say that like it's going to be better work, but it kind of is in a way. We're really going to delve into something deeply, or we're going to have the kind of engagement like we have with my mailbags where, a lot of people ask questions. That's the kind of stuff that we want to reserve for diehards. But I love that we're marrying it now with exclusive merch, exclusive events, things like that. So there's more. It feels like there's more for being a part of this family now than there used to be, for being a part of this community. I really, really like this plan.
And because Fox made the point that he's not in Arizona, so they can't take full advantage. There's still like the content that you have
There's
planned,
so much
the merchandise, like
there's
events
so
aside.
much.
There's so much.
There's
makes
also
this worth
stuff
it.
we're gonna do for diehards only. We might do like Zoom hangouts,
Yep.
happy hour sort of things. Ask me like AMAs, stuff like that. So there's, even if you're not in Arizona and you can't capitalize on the events part of it, there's so much there that you can. That's so worth your money. Like if you just want one shirt a year and go to one event a year and want to read the story, like you're already paying for it tenfold, and then you get everything else all year long. So seriously, I'm so thrilled about this. I know the feedback today has been phenomenal. We're just really excited about building this community, and we appreciate everyone here. Like the people who are here at 11:35 p.m. on a Thursday night after a 4-1 Coyotes loss, you're diehards. Whether you know it or not, you're a diehard. So we sincerely appreciate you. You can become a diehard today. The link is in the description. We'll throw it in the chat as well. Go to gophnx.com/diehard. The link, like I said, in the description. Become a diehard today and grab your first shirt today or hat. It's a great
and come to Nashville this summer.
Oh boy.
Hey, yeah, if you're a Coyotes fan and you want to think ahead to some fun events, how about that?
Seriously, if you haven't been to Nashville, it should be on your bucket list. It really should.
I've never been.
It's a good city.
Yep, so you guys could take me around.
Yep. I'll be up past 11 o'clock in Nashville. Trust me.
Hey, at least it's early in Arizona.
Boy.
Nashville and Chippewa Street, the only two places that'll keep Petey up past 11 p.m.
Those are true statements.
Chippewa Street,
Those are
Buffalo, New York.
very-
Chris just said, I'm here to make sure Petey doesn't doze off.
Yeah, that's a good.
Oh,
point.
and Nicholas said, I look forward to pack therapy more than the games some nights. Thank you so much for
That's
saying
very
that, Nicholas. Like, seriously, but truly, like, I don't know if we could get through watching some of these games. And tonight wasn't so bad, but we've seen some, 3-6-2 losses in a row. It's tough sometimes, but just to get to chat with everybody and vent and laugh, it makes it all worth it.
Yeah,
it really does.
and I tell you what, the vibe this season is so much different than last year's.
It is.
And we haven't spun the wheel of fantasy yet. We haven't had the need to. It's different, and I think that's a good sign of what possibly is to come. I hate to say that, they still need to pick top two. They have to pick in the top two.
I agree.
Yep.
I
So
agree.
So
Don't
I'm
mess that
sorry.
up. And there's no guarantee, right? Like
No.
even if you finish with the worst record, there's no guarantee you'll pick top two. But
Yay, JMT.
this year, you gotta get one of those two players.
Yeah.
I do, and I've said this before. I think Adam Fantilli's going number 2. He's not going to go number 3.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you gotta get one of those top 2
Yep.
picks.
So let's just hang out. We'll do it together. We're already through what, 16? We're already through 16 games.
We got it. We're almost.
got this.
We're almost.
After this
1/4
segment,
of the
we'll
way
be at the
We're
through.
quarter
almost
mark.
a quarter. Yeah.
Almost
We're
a quarter of the way
there.
through.
It's almost American
Piece of cake.
Thanksgiving. We got it. We
Got it.
got it. Anything else you guys want to say about tonight?
Look at Chris
About
got
Diehards?
grandchild number 12.
Oh,
Wow.
congratulations, Chris.
Congrats! Wow.
And also, shout out JMT said just upgraded to Diehard.
Gotta go,
Y'all
JMT.
convinced.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a diehard. We appreciate you. But any final thoughts before we head out?
No,
And go
you
to
know
bed.
what? I thought through 30 minutes, I thought the Coyotes played an extremely solid road game. I thought they did what they needed to do. They just needed to capitalize on their power play when they had the opportunities, and they couldn't do that tonight. But going into Vegas, 1-0 after 2. I think they should be pretty happy with the way this game turned out, honestly. And I know they lose 4-1, but they competed. They were in it till the end, and it was an exciting hockey game with a few individual performances. And that's what I've said since game 1.
For me, I am just fascinated with the idea of Jacob Chychrun coming back into this lineup on Monday. That's really what I am looking ahead to now, seeing what he can do in these next few games.
And not only what he can do, it's what he says.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because now he's going to have to face...
We haven't heard from him since media day.
He's going to have to face the music now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely.
And so let's see if he says the right things.
Yep. So lots of exciting stuff ahead. Definitely. There's not another game till Monday, but we're going to have a fun audio episode tomorrow. We'll talk some hockey, but we're going to have a little bit of fun too. A little bit of a
barely any hockey, I think, tomorrow.
Did you see the Diehard reference, though, Nicholas?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. That's part of what the Diehard... I
have seen
There's been a lot of Diehard...
Did you save the photo from the other studio?
I did, but
okay.
yeah, I'll tweet that. I'll tweet that.
But there's a lot of Die-Hard Christmas movie crossovers with
the Die Hard
movie.
It is
no, it is not a Christmas movie. Christmas movies don't get released in July.
Okay, we need to say we can't have this conversation at 11:40 at the end of our show. We need to save it for a different day. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow podcast.
Quiet,
be sure.
Please.
Yeah. Where's my sign?
Yeah, exactly.
Be sure to like. I know someone hit it. Be sure to like and subscribe to wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, etc. Leave us a review if you haven't already. What?
CWP.
People are saying it's a Christmas movie, but again,
Not today.
again.
This will not be the time. Yeah, not even tomorrow. Really, we'll save this for Christmas.
Yeah, we can save this for Christmas season. Which is
before we get to Christmas. Is it too early to put up the Christmas tree?
Yes. Wait until Thanksgiving.
That is
Please,
another.
for the love of God.
My tree's
we'll
up.
talk about that.
My
Your tree's up.
My tree's up.
No.
Buddy, what do you?
Oh,
you have
my
Do you think I put it up?
Yeah, the Dr. Seuss.
Do you think I was sitting there going?
I want to go to bed.
Do you think I was sitting there going? Let's put the tree up.
Leah's tired.
Let's put the tree up.
You guys, sorry.
I had nothing to do with the tree putting up. I didn't put one bulb on that thing.
Yeah, okay.
It was almost. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Well, for more content like this, follow PHNX Sports across all social platforms. Subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. And of course, follow us on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. You can follow each of us at Craig S. Morgan, at Leah Merrill, at S. Peters Hockey, and at Sean_DePaz. Again, thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to all of our diehards. We couldn't be more excited about this next chapter of PHNX, and the best is yet to come. So I really feel that way. Thank you all so much for staying up with us tonight into the wee hours of the night. Just kidding. It's 11:41. We're fine. But until then, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon.